This is the book of Baruch, chapter 4 and verse 1. This is the book of the commandments of God, and the law that endureth forever. All they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die. And before I go any further, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Makakwadash, double honors unto the elders and the apostles at GMS Great Millstone, and peace, love, blessings, salutations unto you sincere and hopeful members of the elect out there doing the best to make the calling of your election sure, man. Keeping up this good fight of faith. And that's Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, Yahweh being the one true name of the Heavenly Father, and the Lashwan Kwadash, the Holy Tongue, the Paleo-Hebrew being Yahweh, and that of the Messiah whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus being Yahweh Shai. All right, and as you see here, man, we got Baruch 4:1, and what do we just read, man? It's the book of the commandments of God and the law that endureth forever. You see that law that endureth forever, man. All they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die. You see, whoever disobeys this law shall die. And in today's topic, today's detail, today's point, we're going to focus on crustaceans, man. Shellfish. You see? Let me go ahead and grab one more quick precept, all right, for what we just read there. Such as leave it shall die, but such as come to it will come to life, right? This is James 1 and verse 15. It says, then when lust hath conceived, it bringeth forth sin, and sin, when it is finished, bringeth forth death. You see, so that's the way it works, man. The wages of sin is death. Such as leave it shall die. Because what is sin? 1 John 3 and 4. This is 1 John 3 and 4, and it reads, whosoever committeth sin transgresseth also the law, for sin is the transgression of the law. So there you go again, man. Sin is the transgression of the law, and the wages of sin is death. And again, in today's topic, we're going to focus on crustaceans and how when you disobey the covenant, the law, right, the statute, the commandment to refrain from crustaceans, what you will receive is death. And we're going to go ahead and use this modern science to prove this, man, to show the Heavenly Father's word coming into fruition before your eyes, man. So let's go ahead and real quick, we'll grab it out of the law real quick. This is Leviticus 11 and 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron, saying unto them, speak unto the children of Israel, saying, these are the beasts which ye shall eat among all the beasts that are on the earth. You see? So these are the beasts which ye shall eat. In verse 4, it says, nevertheless, let's go ahead and we'll just get straight to the point, man. Verse 9, it says, these shall ye eat of all that are in the waters, whatsoever hath fins and scales in the waters. So there it is, man. The Heavenly Father kept it pretty easy for us, man. Those that have fins and scales in the waters. In other words, just your regular fish, man. You ain't going to be eating these bottom feeders. It says, in the seas and in the rivers, them shall ye eat. And all that have not fins and scales in the seas and in the rivers, of all that move in the waters, and of any living thing which is in the waters, they shall be an abomination unto you. They shall even be an abomination unto you. Ye shall not eat of their flesh, but ye shall have their carcasses in abomination. Whosoever hath not fins or scales in the waters, that shall be an abomination to you. So again, man, these these particular, these crustaceans, man, the shellfish and what have you, these are the things that we're not supposed to be eating, man. All right, and naturally, one of these articles that I had up here, which, we'll see if we get into it. Oh, yeah, right here, man. It says, how do shellfish become contaminated with paralytic shellfish poison? Shellfish are filter feeders. You see this, man? So this is coming straight out of Esau's mouth, right? Since the Heavenly Father, we could have just kept it simple. The Heavenly Father told us to refrain from it. There it is, man. But as time has went on, history has continued. Our studies and research in the world have went further, so we could actually go into detail to show you how these things kill you, man. How the Heavenly Father's word is true, in other words, man. So again, shellfish are filter feeders, man. So what they are is they're the filters of the ocean. So once you begin consuming these things, you're going to catch, as you're going to see here, we have particular diseases pulled up to show an example. You're going to catch these diseases, which is going to lead to what? you dying, man. And Esau may give you particular things to try to, his pharmaceuticals. And we're going to touch that topic too, man. Because then you get more diseases. And not only that, not only is your body going polluted because you disobeyed the Heavenly Father's word, but the ocean is now going polluted because it's lacking the filter. Go pull the filter out your fish tank, man, and see how that thing looks after one day. This is what you're doing to the ocean slowly but surely, man, which is why the whole earth is crying out for salvation, because this is one topic of the law, one minute detail of the law. As I said on the lesson, entering into this series, right? We'll go into each of these details of the law and show how each and every of these will lead to death, which is why you see this earth in such a horrible state that it's in today. All right, so let's go on. It says they pump water through their system. So the Heavenly Father, man, needed a water filter, so he created particular vessels to produce that filtering process, man. It says filtering out and eating algae and other food particles. When shellfish eat biotoxin, producing algae, the biotoxin can accumulate in their tissue. You see? So again, this is the process of what these shellfish were created to do, man. And right here we have particular, this particular disease here, paralytic shellfish poison, which is a disease that takes place when with some of these crustaceans, and then when you go and consume it, now you're going ahead and receiving these illnesses, man. And then you're over here giving them to those around you, man. Let's go ahead and continue. It says paralytic shellfish poison, known as PSP, is a naturally occurring marine biotoxin that is produced by some species of microscopic algae. Shellfish eat these algae and can retain the toxin. People can become ill from eating shellfish. Hey, you should have just listened to what the word said, man. And you wouldn't have become ill from this, right? It says contaminated with paralytic shellfish poison. This biotoxin affects the nervous system and paralyzes muscles. You could paralyze yourself, man. Goodness gracious. It says, thus the term paralytic shellfish poison. So in other words, paralyzing shellfish poison, man. That's something you are risking by going to the Red Lobster, man. High levels of paralytic shellfish poison can cause severe illness and death. Look at that, man. You could die. In other words, the wages of sin is death. And that's just one. Look, that's that paralytic shellfish poisoning, man. Look at all these other diseases you could get. You could mess up your nervous system eating shellfish, man. Let's go ahead and click on another one of these, man. See what this one is. Amnesic shellfish poisoning. Domoic acid is a marine biotoxin called amnesic shellfish poison, known as ASP, which is produced by a diatom pseudonitschia, is what they're calling it, what Esau decided to refer to it as. It says a type of neutrally occurring microscopic algae. Shellfish eat these algae. So again, in ancient times, man, we didn't have the technology to dig into these things and say, oh, look, this shellfish is going to give you a naturally occurring microscopic algae that it takes in by its filtering process. We didn't know any of this stuff, man. We knew what the Heavenly Father gave us, which was at the very beginning of time, which, as we went into on the last lesson, Deuteronomy 4 and 6 on down, would separate us from all nations. All nations would say, damn, man, these people have a different way of living. Why do they refrain from eating these things? Why do they live so long, man? Why are they so glorious, right? And it's because we were given this law by the Creator himself, man. That's like somebody creating a car and giving you the manual when he didn't give no one else the manual and say none of these people know how to drive, they don't know how to put gas in, they don't know. So now these cars are just all destroyed out here. People over there putting salt in the gas tank thinking that that's going to make it run. Hey, we were the ones that were given the manual, man. So now we're what? We're teaching the rest of the world how to use this manual, which is why, as we went into the last lesson, which I don't want to get too off topic, but it's going to result in what? The new covenant being written within you, man. The laws being written within you. So like that's what the likeness of the new covenant is. The laws being written within you. So you could judge this earth in perfection, man. And establish it in the earth, leading the earth to a place of peace and prosperity, and the ocean no longer being polluted by these different things because the lack of the Heavenly Father's filters in it, man. It says shellfish eat these algae and can retain the toxin. So it's, again, man, the shellfish were created to do this. You were not. This is contaminated with amnesic shellfish poison. Severe cases of amnesic shellfish poisoning can result in permanent short-term memory loss. Goodness gracious, man. So you're gonna be like 10-second Tom off of 50 First Dates, man. You're gonna be like 10-second Tom. Not remembering who you just met 10 seconds ago, man. Why? Because you wanted to eat something that wasn't even that delicious, man. Because it's what's paraded before your face, even though we were given what? The lists of do's and don'ts from the Heavenly Father himself. But let's go ahead and I pulled this one up too, man. You know, because there was just all kind of diseases, you know. But I just decided to pull up a few of them and just kind of touch on them. It says vibriosis and shellfish, vibrobacteria, live naturally in coastal waters. Some species can cause a disease called fibrosis. Shellfish, particularly oysters, are an important source of these infections. You see that, man? It says vibrobacteria can be built up inside shellfish as shellfish filter seawater to extract their food. Again, man, they're the filters of the ocean, right? So by this process, man, you eating them is going to cause you to die. So that's why the Heavenly Father told us since the beginning what? He said, these are abominations to you, man. Whatsoever hath not fins or scales, verse 12 here, Leviticus 11, in the waters shall be an abomination to you. You see? We got another one here, man. Infectious outbreaks associated with bivalve shellfish consumption. So there's another type of shellfish, man. Anyway, go ahead and pull this one. And then I went ahead and pulled this up, man. Just, you know, I was going to go further into, you know, the specific pharmaceuticals that they prescribe you for these particular diseases, man. Right? But at the end of the day, we already know. You go watch one, all you got to do is look into one of these medications and ask what the side effects are, man. And all these are going to have all kinds of crazy side effects, man. You dying, you name it, man. You getting ulcers and brain aneurysms and blindness, all these different things, all from trying to trust in Esau, which actually I do have another thing pulled up here because I thought this was funny, man. Shellfish related diseases, but I thought it was funny right here, man. How can these shellfish related illnesses be prevented? Obey the word of the Heavenly Father, man. Obey the word of the Heavenly Father. Look at this, man. Most recent, at the top of the screen, most recent outbreaks of hepatitis and gastroenteritis have been linked to consumption of raw shellfish. And it really don't matter how much you cook it. You see, Esau try to throw, oh, you need to make sure you cook it right or do this, man. No. You were told to stay away from it, man. You were told, look at all these viruses, you're risking to getting hepatitis by simply just not obeying the Heavenly Father's word, man. What did he say? That my yoke is easy, my burden is light, man. The yoke that we've been given, man, it really, you know, the hardest part about this walk is the longevity, man. Because the walk of faith. You're going to be going through things throughout the entire time, growing and growing and growing, or plateauing and folding, man. You see? And so the Heavenly Father's given us all this food out here, and Jake has to go run after shellfish, man. It's just unbelievable, man. You got all this different stuff that you be eating. You could be making. I just had some tamales yesterday, man. There were beef tamales. They were made delicious, man. And most of these tamales got lard in the masa, man. It's just crazy, man. All the amount of flavor the Most High gave us, and you know, hey, but as the scriptures say, man, they were wise to do evil, man. So you people wise to do evil, man. All right? It don't matter what the Heavenly Father said. You're going to find a way. You see? And then you're going to be cleaving to Esau, running to him for help, and he's going to be destroying you further, man. So now your body's all kind of destroyed. The earth is polluted. You started destroying your body by disobeying the word, and then you went to Esau and took his pharmakia to deliver you from that, which further destroyed your body. It may have, you know, provided a comfort as far as the symptoms you had from the illness, but now you've grown 20 more symptoms from the remedy, the false remedy Esau gave you, man. So anyway, with that, I'm gonna go ahead and close it up, man. I believe the point has been made. You know, let's leave off for the first one being Crestations, man. The first lesson out of the topics of the law, man. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and close it up. Call Allah Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua by Hashem HaKodash. Double honors into the elders and the apostles at GMS Great Millstone, and peace, love, blessings, salutations unto you sincere and hopeful members of the elect out there, man. All right, and there are some scriptures that, you know, modern Christians use to try to justify the eating of these things, which, you know, I have very many other videos on as well. But for these, you know, for this series, I'm gonna just stick to the topic, which is proving, right, the details of the, well, really the word of the Heavenly Father, man. Because again, with this technology we have today, we're able to dive in to the word that the Heavenly Father gave us and show how what he told us comes to fruition right before your eyes without, you know, many of these people in the world even seeing it, man. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and close it up once more. So I keep saying that. All praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Shem Yahushua. Shalom.